Hello, Covenant County. Welcome to What's Up, Covenant County. And I tell you what, y'all ought to be glad you're not in this studio with me because we have a ride on our hands. Woo! Smelling this place is out of this world. I'm going to tell you now, I'm sitting here next to the Reverend Cindy Howard from the St. Mary's Episcopal Church, and I don't know, maybe the greatest cook in the world over here. Portamont.
I don't know about that.
Well, if you cooked what I'm smelling, you got to be right there. Now, folks, they're here about the annual Bayou Fest, or
Bayou Feast. Bayou Feast.
Yeah, Bayou Feast at the St. Mary's Episcopal Church this month, and it's not long off from here. It's the 24th. That's what, 8 days? Wow.
Yes.
It's gonna be here.
Not long.
Does that scare you any? 8 days?
No, I've been working on this for 2 months.
That's good.
I'm at the ladder slope
Now,
here.
I'm not trying to make light of this, but you know, this is a church organization that's sponsoring this, and I can tell you from the smell of things, the food's heavenly. It's out of this world. St. Mary's Episcopal Church is located over here on East 3 Knot Street. What is that,
1307 East 3 Knot.
East 3 Knot Street here in Andalusia. And it's kind of on what I'd call the north end of the street. One of the prettiest churches I've ever been to in my life, and I think your chapel is one of the most spiritual places I've ever been in my life. I mean, that's a special place you got over there.
Well, thank you.
Thank
we love
you.
it.
We're biased, but we love it.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, if you're not biased, there's a lot of trouble.
That's
isn't
right. That's right.
But they have, this is, how many years is this?
The best we know,
We're
this
going
is the
on
9.
10, but yeah,
This
9.
is 9, and
Right.
next year will be 10.
Yeah.
So we're getting there.
And this started out as a fundraiser. Did it start out originally as the Bayou Feast?
It did.
Feast, or-
It's
It
always,
did, and
Tammy
actually,
really knows that better than I do.
Actually, Tommy Gerlach actually started it, and he got Terry Kaiser involved, and they're the ones that started it. And Tommy was involved probably 2-3 years, and then handed it over to Terry, and then me and Terry just kind of took it over. But you know, we head it up, and we do a lot of the prepping and all that, but we have so much wonderful help. I mean, and you can't do it without the help, believe me. You're cooking for $350, $400, and even the gumbo, which is Terry's grandmother's recipe.
And it is out of this world.
It
folks.
is, and
I grew up on it.
Give me. That tastes pretty good.
It takes 3 to 4 days to cook that.
Right.
It's done in layers, and we've added my jambalaya to it, so now he calls it our own. So,
Right.
but
Well,
it's wonderful.
Out of this world. And
It's a wonderful recipe.
I grew up eating Mama Gerlach's potato salad and that kind of stuff down in Fort Walton. So and I knew Tommy later on when he had a restaurant in Atmore. So even though he's not involved, I'm sure the spirit of the good food lives on from what I've had and tasted over the years. Folks, I know we kind of backed into this thing, but we've got Tammiy Portamont and Reverend. Are you a doctor?
I am.
Oh, okay. Good. I'm thinking about having
You could go either way.
I'm thinking about having a heart attack.
And not that kind of doctor.
Anyway, Reverend Cindy Howard here from the St. Mary's Episcopal Church. She's also a big Cardinals fan.
A big Cardinals.
Big.
Yeah, and they're on fire right now.
They are. Aren't
They are on fire right now.
Kind of makes you proud that wish you could go to Busch Stadium.
I went there in April.
Okay, well, good. You
Yeah.
got a good start on the season.
Yeah, I
You
did.
must have blessed them. while you were
Well,
there.
I hope.
But anyway, I grew up. I tell everybody when I was a kid growing up down here, you couldn't get but 2 television stations, you know, and all we could see in the way of baseball was the St. Louis Cardinals and the New York Yankees. And of course, back in the early '60s, what great teams to be watching anyway.
Right,
you know,
absolutely.
Maris and Mantle and
Gibson and Brock.
Gibson.
That's what I grew up on.
Gibson.
I grew up going there to watch him when I was a child.
Yeah, Gibson would stand and deliver against anybody.
Right.
And I didn't. Years later, when I found out he was an asthmatic, I went, "How in the world did the guy do that?" You know, he just
Yeah,
pitched. just
phenomenal
awesome.
pitcher.
But anyway, enough about baseball. The Bayou Feast, at least we got your name right.
Yeah.
Bayou Feast is one of your, is that your biggest fundraiser, or is it?
It is. We have this fundraiser, which is for general things we do in the church and to support all we do, because we have a fair number of ministries in the community. We also have the Mardi Gras 5K usually right around Mardi Gras time for our rice and beans ministry, and they're similar size events. Yeah.
Well, this one you'll feed, I guess what, 300 to 500 people.
Usually around 350,
350,
between
400.
350 400.
That's a lot of folks to. That's a lot of folks to talk to. Now we took some pictures earlier, and we're going to intersperse these through the interview. But can somebody bring me a plate of, I don't know. Let's start with those shrimp there, the boiled shrimp. Now I'm going to touch all this with my hands so that nobody else can take none of it. Thank you, folks. Look at this. Now, the only reason you wouldn't want this is if you're allergic to shellfish.
It's true.
I mean, this stuff looks so good. I'd probably eat the shell on the shellfish with this. Boiled shrimp. Oh. I'm not sure about it, but I think heaven may smell kind of like that. That is
Very possible.
Out of
Very
sight.
possible.
I mean, that is out of sight, folks. And I'm guaranteeing you can take my personal word on this. It tastes better than it looks, and it looks absolutely wonderful.
I tell you for true, I guarantee it.
Folks, you can have that if you go to the Bayou Fest, but that's not all you can have. Got our handy helper man over here. Mr. Jared Eastman.
That's the blackened fish.
Yes, this is a blackened fish. And folks, if I look that good and smell that good, I'd hope they'd blacken me right before they cremated me. I mean, this stuff is out of sight. It smells so good. It makes you wonder. Why do you eat the stuff that you eat when you can eat this? Okay, because you can get it for $2 for $6 at Burger King. And then finally, we have over here another dish. Is this a stuffed shrimp?
No, this is it's a cheese grit, and you end up making them go solid on a pan, then you cut them, and then you bread them, then you deep fry them, and then you saute the shrimp, and then that is a dill cheese wine sauce with the shrimp in it. That's one of my favorite dishes.
That is
besides the
It's
gumbo.
kind of like
That is my favorite.
In fact, I'll be having that for breakfast this
cheese
morning.
grit cake or something like
It
that.
is.
Almost.
It's absolutely wonderful.
There used to be a place in Fort Walton that had cheese grit cake, and I couldn't go in the place and not eat it. I mean,
These are good.
These-
So.
yeah.
They're excellent.
Well, this is excellent, folks. The only reason I point this out is to point out to you how good the food looks and how good it's going to be. But this is an opportunity to do something that, we hear people in Andalusia complain about. I don't get to go out and get good food. There's not any good food places. Well, we're going to be back in just a minute to talk about where you can get some good food on the 24th of August. Welcome back to What's Up, Covenant County. I've got wonderful people with me today, Tammiy Portamont and the Reverend Cindy Howard from St. Mary's Episcopal Church here in Andalusia. We're talking about their Bayou Feast. And folks, when Hank Williams says, son of a gun, have big fun on the bayou, this is it. I mean, this food is great. We've had, I'm going to have to turn off the computer at my house tonight because I'm going to go and look at it, and I'll be brainwashed. But the food, they're having a fundraiser on the 24th of August at St. Mary's Episcopal Church here on 3 Street, East 3 Street, on the north end of it, kind of. And it's one of their big fundraisers. And folks, they do an awful lot for the community at this church, and they do it, you know, the kind of unsung heroes. I think that's the way that good should be done, if possible.
I hope so.
With very little recognition and you know, very little thanks. They do an awful lot in our community. One of the big things that they do, and I know our church contributes to it, is their red beans and rice ministry, or beans and rice ministry, and that's on the third Thursday of every month.
Third Saturday.
Third Saturday, yeah.
And that'll be this Saturday.
This coming Saturday. They dole that out, and it's perfectly timed because that's about the time a lot of people that are on some kind of a financial aid or something like that start to run out of groceries. This is,
Exactly.
We chose the third Saturday because if you get a check the beginning of the month, by the third Saturday things are getting a little thin.
right.
And we know we can't completely fill people's pantries, but we can help.
Yes.
Well, you know, it's amazing. If you've got a little creativity, it's amazing how good you can make beans and rice. I could eat red beans and rice 3 meals a day. If I could get 4 ounces of sausage with a pound of red beans and rice, or 2, I'm made. That's a big, good, filling meal.
Oh, it is.
You know, and
So we distribute 2 pounds of rice, 3 pounds of rice and 2 pounds of beans. We also have a bag of non-perishable
Non-perishables.
groceries. We have a loaf of bread, and then when anyone who comes, we serve breakfast. We'll serve breakfast to over 200 people on Saturday.
And folks, if I remember right on this, correct me, they're not going to ask you for your name or anything
No.
like that. They really, this is truly a ministry done out of love for the community and love for the fellow man. This is the kind of thing I think makes Andalusia just such a special place.
Yes.
And it makes your church such a special place because you're actually doing what I think you're supposed to do, which is reaching out to the needy in the community and helping them.
We're really blessed because, you know, folks from the Humane Society come pretty much every Saturday and bring pet food, and so people who come to eat breakfast and get food for their families, a lot of those families have pets that they
Right.
love, and they can also get food for their pets. You know, in the winter we'll have coats, used coats that people can get, and we do that not just with folks from St. Mary's, but a lot of people in the community contribute to that as well.
Right. Well, I don't. You know, I kind of look at it like this: St. Mary's is the place that it happens, and it's the place that it happens because you got to have a place
Right.
for something to happen. I mean, y'all serve as kind of an ombudsman or a clearinghouse for an awful lot of other good people here in the community that
Right.
that are trying to do good things. And I know a lot of them that they're not members of St. Mary's, but
Right.
they contribute.
Right,
Now, I tell you,
absolutely.
you got, and Terry Kaiser, you not only is he a good cook, but he's a great guy. And he loves.
We think so.
he loves
Yeah,
doing
we
that.
do.
But folks, I'm gonna hold this up. It's the one thing I haven't talked about, and I've held off on this because I think it's such a tremendous value. You go somewhere on the Gulf, and you try to find this much seafood, and there's more.
Oh, but that's minor.
Yeah,
There's
I know,
more
and there's a
getting.
lot more. But you try to find this much seafood for $25. You won't do it. Can't be done. Now, I don't know where they're getting the fish. I mean, you know, but
Terry makes a run to Joe Patty's.
okay.
It's one place we get some
But
of our seafood.
it's always fresh.
It's all fresh. Everything's handmade. I mean, we start prepping on Wednesday. Everything's all hand cut up and done. Everything's all cooked. Gumbo takes 3 days. You know, we layer it.
We haven't
Sister
even,
Schubert.
We haven't even mentioned the bread pudding.
No, Sister Schubert does the bread pudding, and she makes that with her cinnamon rolls, and has
about
that
that.
rum sauce, which is to die for.
Man, I just hope I live long enough.
I
to
don't
get
even
that.
eat sweets, but I will eat that.
I'm diabetic and I won't. Oh, anyway, the food's great. Here's the other great thing they got over there. Some of the nicest people that you'll ever meet. Now, if you're kind of the solitary person and you don't want to eat with everybody, I mean, they got a plan for you too. You can buy your ticket and you can call in or, you know, buy your ticket beforehand, but make arrangements. They'll have you a box full of goodies and food that you can take home. and it'll still be worth the price of the meal. But if you don't want to just take it and go over into the corner and eat it by yourself, go down to church from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock on the 24th of August. That's a Friday, so you know, you and your wife have got the evening laid out in front of you. You can go down there from 5 to 7, and you can get something good to eat. You know, she doesn't have to prepare dinner. You don't have to prepare dinner. Y'all just get, and then you'll get to sit down with a couple of hundred really nice people at any one time. And these are people that are there because most of them are good people to start with. You know, you won't get to sit in an audience with this. You know, are they perfect? No, they're just, you know, they realize they're not perfect. They're just working on it. But it'll be a great opportunity to eat great food and to fellowship with some wonderful people. That's at St. Mary's.
we would love to have them dine in.
Yeah.
The music's playing. It's very festive, and if you dine in and you have children under 12, they get hot dogs free. So.
Wow, is that grilled or is it boiled?
We do. I don't know how Terry does them,
I
but
boil
they're
them
great.
and then throw them on the grill.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh, perfect.
And then we have all the, condiments to go
chips
with
and
it.
cookies and things for children.
Yeah.
I might add that this year we're going to have to-go plates available at 4:30
Right.
because there's an away football game in Saraland, and we know people may be heading south to go to Saraland, and if they want to pick up their meal and eat as they go or eat when they get there, we'll have those available at 4:30.
And if you don't know how to get to Saraland, if you leave about 5:30, you can follow the go plates that are on the side of the I'm kidding, folks. Don't litter, please don't. But this is St. Mary's. Now we're going to run this interview several times in between now and when you have it.
We appreciate
Thank you.
that.
Well, no, we thank y'all for coming on here. My mouth is still watering, and but this is a great thing. Go to our Facebook page or to their Facebook page, where you get to see the pictures again, and it'll give you the details, the cost, the times, the where, who to call. Just a great opportunity. Don't miss out on it. The 24th of August, St. Mary's Episcopal Church, Bayou Feast. Son of a gun, you'll have big fun at St. Mary's. Folks, we'll see y'all later. Thank y'all again for
Thank you
coming.
so much.
No, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.